All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. Lately it seems like every time you turn on the news, there's another aviation incident. I
Yeah.
mean, you've got the helicopter crash in Idaho, and then a midair collision in Arizona.
Hmm.
Then there was that Delta plane incident in Toronto.
Right.
You had a medical jet crash in Philadelphia. And then there was even a helicopter and airplane collision in Washington, D.C.
Wow.
It's just a lot.
Yeah.
It really makes you think twice before you book your next flight, right?
It really does. It makes you wonder what is going on.
Yeah, and to help us try to connect some of the dots here, I've got an expert on aviation.
Thanks for having me.
So let's start with that helicopter crash in Idaho,
Okay.
because I think that's the one that's really been on a lot of people's minds. A helicopter crashing on a frozen reservoir. It's not something you hear about every day.
Right. And especially tragic because one person was killed and another was injured
Right.
in that crash. And the investigation into the cause is ongoing.
Well, and thinking about that investigation, they said there was a downed power line near the crash site.
Right.
So is that something they're looking into as a possible cause?
Oh, absolutely. They're going to be considering all possibilities. But it's a really tricky situation. They're dealing with unstable ice conditions out there on the reservoir.
Yeah.
Makes it difficult to recover the wreckage and get a clear picture of what happened.
And I imagine it also makes it even more difficult to determine what caused the power line to come down in the first place.
You got it. Yeah. So was it already down, maybe hidden by snow, and the pilot hit it without warning? Or did the helicopter clip the line and cause it to fall?
Oh, wow.
So lots of questions still to be answered.
Yeah, it's just a really sad situation. And of course, our thoughts are with the victims and their families.
Of course.
But there is a lot to unpack here. And it's not just about the Idaho incident.
Right.
I mean, we've got that midair collision in Arizona,
Mm-hmm.
the Delta plane incident in Toronto, the medical jet crash in Philadelphia. It just seems like a lot in a very short amount of time.
Absolutely. And that's what's really concerning right now is this unusual frequency of aviation incidents.
Yeah.
It's definitely higher than what we typically see.
And it's interesting because some of these incidents, like you said, resulted in fatalities.
Right.
But then others, like that Delta plane incident,
Right.
everyone survived.
Yeah.
So it really kind of seems like there isn't a simple explanation here.
Exactly. Aviation safety is incredibly complex. There's so many factors that contribute to these incidents, weather, mechanical issues, human error, you name it.
So as I'm listening to you talk about all of this, I'm trying to kind of put all the pieces together in my head. Are we seeing a trend here? Or is this just a string of really unfortunate coincidences?
Well, it's tempting to look for a single unifying factor, a common thread that explains it all. But the truth is, it's more complicated than that. It's important to remember that each incident is unique, with its own set of contributing factors, and until we have those investigations completed, it's really premature to jump to any conclusions.
So you're saying we just have to let the NTSB and the FAA do their work?
Exactly. They're the experts. They've got teams of highly trained investigators who are going to analyze every single detail, from the wreckage to the flight data recorders, the pilot's history, weather conditions, maintenance records.
Yeah.
They're going to leave no stone unturned in their quest to determine what happened.
And that's good to know. I mean, it's reassuring to know that those thorough investigations are being conducted.
Absolutely.
So for everyone listening out there, the bottom line is this: yes, this string of aviation incidents is concerning, but we really do need to wait for the results of those investigations before we draw any conclusions.
You got it. We need to be patient, let the experts do their work, and trust that they'll get to the bottom of it.
And while we're waiting for those results, maybe this is a good time to think about what we can do to make flying even safer in the future.
That's a great point. Airspace is getting more and more crowded. Technology is constantly evolving. So what innovations can we explore to enhance safety?
Yeah.
What can we do to prevent these kinds of incidents from happening in the first place?
It's a great question, and one that I think we all need to be thinking about. So thanks for taking the time to deep dive with us today.
It's my pleasure.
And for everyone listening, we'll keep you updated as those investigations unfold. So stay tuned, and until next time, fly safe, everybody.